I hope you guys did better than me.
We were just talking about this was a rough one.
It twisted me, and I mean, my notes are so nuts. This is what my papers look like. Like, they're just, do you see that? The red all over? Me trying to make sense of stuff, all kinds of colors, nutsness. But yeah.
I don't know, it didn't seem like it was very clear, huh?
I don't know. The thing is that you have to completely understand previous chapters to get to this chapter. And if you had any doubt, or basically if you didn't know the other chapter is good, this chapter is killing you. And it killed me. So.
Well, we'll try to get through it together then.
Yes, we'll try to focus on finding proof of our answers. I think if we find proof of our answers, by finding that proof, we can go over the proof and then it will help us, which might take us longer, but I know, dog. Okay, let's get started.
Okay. Number 1 is E.
What? That's not a good start.
So, do we want to go through all of them, like the answers, or should we just kind of start and...
No, let's go through each one and the answers because it will help us solidify what we know or don't know.
Okay, so let's start with number 1 then.
What did you have? Because I was pushing, I think I read it wrong, but I was pushing towards A.
I was pushing towards D.
I was
D? I'm sorry, say it again. Kyle Dobbs, what did you say?
I was thinking C as in cat.
And so are you, Kyle?
Yeah.
Okay, see that, and I felt that way because I was reading, I felt I had messed that one up because I was going to slide 15.
I put A as well, Sandra, so.
Oh, really?
Don't feel bad.
Okay, so let me go to the slides. See, 13, 14. Sorry, some of the slides don't actually have their numbers, but I still count them. Okay.
So the reason why I didn't pick A is because it talked about when there's a boom in the stock market, it talks about how
which is slide 16. Mm-hmm.
It will increase like our income and our spending.
Yes.
And so this talks about rising stock prices that decrease the spending, so that would be the opposite, right?
Wait, why would it decrease? Okay, why would it decrease? Just okay, you said the rising stock prices. Why would it decrease? You said decrease.
Well, that's just what answer A says, that it would decrease Jim's consumer spending.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought you added to the question, and I was like, wait, what? You're confusing.
Yeah, sorry. So that's why I ruled out A. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That was just my logic, because I was trying to piece. It doesn't say specifically in the slides, but that's what I got from the slides.
Okay, so if your stock prices rise, that means that the firms are investing, doesn't it? Because they need money to invest. So that would increase consumption. Let's see. Is that right? Does that make sense at all?
Well,
yeah, I think so.
A says that Jim decreases his consumption spending. And I put that because as stock prices rise, people don't want to buy into the stock, so they begin saving their money instead.
Okay, I thought like stock.
What I just said actually solidifies more. C, firms spend more on investments because their stock price goes up. They're using more money to invest. See, now I'm so sorry, Ketston.
Yeah, so it also talks about how a stock market boom increases household wealth.
Mm-hmm.
People are getting more money from their stocks, right?
Yeah.
And so I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't see the stock price rising. I didn't see that encouraging people to spend more. I saw it encouraging them to spend less. That's just why I ruled out A. But I wish we had more slides to back that up. Just 16.
Well, but that's the thing. Now we have to find in the book because let's see. Let me see where it starts they got the slide from. I have actually enjoyed the abbreviation, the study guide. Have you guys been using that one?
Oh no. No.
Yeah, it's helped a little more because I will go through the other one. I swear I listen to the chapter so much, but I'm not actually listening. Does that make sense? I'm sorry. Aggregate demand. What? I'm so sorry. We're
It's just funny that we're spending so much time on the number one.
Hey, honestly, I feel like we've been kind of flying through them a few times, and we don't. For those that are a little confused, like me, are not capturing all that needs to be captured in these meets, yes, or whatever you want to call them. So, I will be a pest today. What? Oh. Nope, I didn't find it in the study guide. Okay. I definitely know. Keston, do you have something to back up A? Because I don't have anything to back up A anymore.
Honestly, like a lot of these questions this week, I couldn't even find in the book anywhere. So this is one of those.
I think it's where you have to, what do you call it? Where you have to take it and apply it and it doesn't say it exactly, or you have to do the opposite of what it says to get it. Like if it says it's going to increase demand if you do this, well, then if you do the opposite, it's going to increase. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I definitely know that if stock markets, if rising stock prices go up, it's because the company is trying to get liquid. It's trying to get debits and get money to invest in either product or I don't know anything. It will invest anything from physical machinery or land or anything like that. So I'm sorry. I'm going with C.
Okay.
So I found in the book
Yay!
something that says when the stock market booms, households become wealthier and increased wealth stimulates consumer spending. In addition, if a rise in stock price makes it more attractive for firms to sell new shares of stock, and this stimulates investment spending. For both reasons, a booming stock market expands the aggregate demand for goods and services.
All right. So what section is that in? So I can write it down.
That is in 21-1D.
D as in dog?
Yes. And it's in the case study part.
Yeah, and that's what slide 16 says as well, that a stock market boom would increase the aggregate.
Wealth and increase aggregate demand.
Yeah, so it would actually be the opposite of A, right? Because it would increase the consumer spending, and it just said there specifically that firms would spend more on investment. So are we good with C for that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 2, I have D as in dog.
That's what I had.
Yes.
That one's on slide number 3.
So what is money holdings?
So when I went to look for it, I could not find it. I could not find exactly. I even went into the flashcards from the chapter, but it's just how much people hold. I like exact definition. I didn't find. how much people want to hold at home or instead of spend it. You know, sometimes when people feel afraid of like the banks crashing or whatever, they hold their money but they're not getting anything on it. Does that make sense? They're holding.
Yeah. So the money that they're not spending on investments or.
Yeah, that they just hold.
Okay.
That's what I understood. It could be wrong, obviously. That's why I feel like everything's wrong.
All right, 2D. Are we good? Are we okay with that?
Yes. And
yeah.
B.
Okay, number 3. What'd you guys get?
Liquid trap. It's on slide 18. So it says situations in which the Fed target interest rates has fallen as far as it can fall is something described as liquid trap. So liquid traps monetary policy stimulate aggregate demand by reducing the interest rate. Liquid trap when the interest rate is 0. And the liquid trap policy may not work since money nominals that cannot be reduced further. However, central banks, so it talks about how it gets to the completely can't fall any, you can't get less than 0. There's positives and other stuff can happen, like but you can't fall any further. The only thing,
Sounds good.
Okay, so B as in boy. Okay, the next one you guys, okay, go ahead.
This one confused me.
I know, I was like writing little arrows going supply money go up and.
Okay, if the Federal Reserve increases the money supply, then initially people want to. So this is what confused me because I know like the effect that the money supply has on the interest rate, but I don't know.
Okay, so what is the effect on a money supply on interest rate? Go to slide, let's see, go to slide 13. Let's go. Is it 13? Just 13. Yeah. We'll actually show the example. Yes. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about that. The Fed's reducing money supply. What does it do? It increases the interest rate and it
decreases the demand.
Decreases the demand. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at my little. So if it increases, we got an opposite of that. So it will increase, it'll decrease the interest rate. Is that right? And then it will increase aggregate demand. That make sense?
Yeah, so would it be them buying bonds or selling bonds?
So decrease in rates, they would be selling because no one's going to want to buy bonds when the rates are low. Make sense?
Yeah. So it'd be A?
B.
Selling and B, no? Selling bonds so the interest rate falls. Because that's
I don't know. I just know that the increase in the money supply would decrease the interest rate. But I don't know what it would make the people want to do. Like if they want to rise it to get it back to equilibrium or what?
Oh, but it's not talking about that. It's talking about selling or buying. No one's going to buy when it's high. I'm sorry, when it's low. No, that makes sense. Like you're not, if I said, hey, by the way, this week it's going to be low at 1%. Would you want to buy if you know that later you have the possibility of getting 5% for it? It's just like a stock market buyer. They literally wait for it to increase to buy. Oh gosh, I'm starting to. I definitely agree that they're going to sell, not buy.
Right. So I agree they're going to sell. But is number 4 saying they're going to sell so the interest rate will rise? Or is it saying they're going to sell which is going to cause the interest rate to fall? Because I know that the interest rate will fall whenever they decrease the money supply, but is it saying it's because of the sell of bonds, or are they selling the bonds to cause the interest rate to increase?
Oh, because it says then initially people want to do this. In the Federal Reserve, it increase in the money supply, and then initially people want to sell, so the interest rate fall.
Yeah, that's what confused me. Why do they want it to fall?
Because initially, not saying that it will happen. It says increase in our what's it?
I say we skip this one.
Come
I
back.
don't like it.
Question mark. Nutty question. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, it's just the second part that makes me question it, because it's like they're selling bonds because interest rate drops. So are they selling it so the interest rate will rise back up?
That's what makes me, like, the way the wording makes me think it's A, just because they say initially they will do that, but it will actually.
But will selling bonds cause interest rate to fall or rise? Just the sell of bonds.
The sell of bonds, Federal Reserve sells of bonds. I actually read that.
Don't bonds count as an investment?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so if you're investing in bonds, I think when there's more investments, it causes the interest rate to fall, right?
Yes.
So you
I
sell
have it on the
investments
slide.
to
On
raise-
slide.
So buying them would cause it to fall.
So you sell the bonds to raise the interest rate.
I think so. And so it would either be A or D then, right? Because B and C don't make sense.
Right, so I think it's A, because I think you would want to sell the bonds.
Okay, let's go with it.
I got confused. I'm sorry.
All right, we're all confused with this one.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. It might get clarified. If the Fed conducts open market, the money supply.
I got A for this one.
I
I
got
read
A as well.
directly. Wait 1 second. I want to get the slide to. I hate when I don't remember where I read it. That's why I do colors, to make it stand out. Did anyone find where it says it?
I think so. Well,
It's
this
on.
is from previous chapters, right?
Mm-hmm.
That when they conduct open market purchases, they're buying something and giving money to us, right? And so they're basically putting more money in the economy, right?
Yes.
Which increases the money supply. And we were just looking at slide 13 that when the money supply reduces, the demand also decreases.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're increasing the money supply, then the demand will shift to the right because it will increase, right?
Yep.
It's on 21-1D in the book. Very first paragraph.
Nice, Keston.
21 what?
-1D.
Okay. And then
So we're saying 5 is A, right?
yes. And also on answer A or slide 15, it says to stabilize output, Fed should increase money supply and reduce the interest rate to increase demand. So that it kind of goes with it. Does that make sense at all? Sorry. Trying to.
Does that go back to question 4?
Huh? I'm not sure. Uh,
Talking about the money supply and the interest rate.
It does go back to 4 too. Oh my gosh. The wording, it just drives me nuts. Fed increase money supply, and then initial people want it reduces the interest rate and increases the demand. Exactly what I said it did before, but it still doesn't. They initially sell bond.
Which slide did you say you're looking at?
15. And it's the last sentence.
Yes, I think that goes along with answer A for number 5.
Also, yes, I do. I agree. It goes with answer A. That's why I was seeing it, but it even, I don't, four is driving me nuts.
Yeah, I don't know if that we have enough information from that to answer 4 because it's talking about the interest rate.
Yeah.
I don't see anything about the interest rate on this slide.
Yes, it does. It says reduces the interest rate to increase the demand. Sorry. That little R. It's
some more. Yeah. So more money supply is a smaller interest rate.
Yes, which we already agreed. It was smaller interest rate and increase in aggregate demand.
Yeah.
But it's still, yeah. Let's just go. 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna go nuts.
I got back to that thinking cycle of confusion.
Yes, let's feel better about ourselves for a second.
According to liquidity preference theory, the opportunity cost of holding money is.
And the liquidity theory is.
So that one's in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a hard time finding this one though.
It was
21.1a, right? The theory of liquidity preference.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know about the book right now.
Okay.
I know that it was.
I didn't see it in the slides. Did anyone find that one?
In the slides? One second. I swear. I'm going nuts. Liquidity preference theory. There, it's right there on slide 5. Why did you say it's not there? It's slide 4 and 5.
Really?
The liquidity theory? Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Am
you're
I
right.
reading it wrong?
I'm going
I'm
crazy.
like, am I reading? That's why I was like, wait, what? Okay. According to liquidity theory, the opportunity cost of holding money is. It actually said that. You can be right here. Okay? Look at me. What? Are you supposed to be using that? Give me it. You don't. This is mommy's.
Mommy,
Yes. Then go eat something.
Found it in the book.
I actually read that exact thing. I know I have to find it. It said opportunity cost, and I remember. Go ahead. Read it.
Okay, so what I found in the book says, although many factors determine the quantity of money demanded, the one emphasized by the theory of liquidity preference is the interest rate. The reason is that the interest rate is the opportunity cost of holding money. That is, when you hold wealth as cash in your wallet, instead of an interest-bearing bond, you lose the interest you could have earned. So that goes back to like the beginning when we were talking about opportunity cost in like the first chapter.
Yes.
So it's the money that you could have earned by interest rate. So
A.
Yes.
Yes. I could have swore I read opportunity cost, like the opportunity cost of, and it didn't make sense, but I want to see it exactly.
Do you guys know how to use Control F?
Yeah.
No. What is that?
So if you're looking for a specific word, let's say you're on an internet page, such as the book, the textbook, or the slides. Let's say you're looking for the word interest. So you type Control and F at the same time on your computer.
Control what? F as in the letter F only? What?
Yes, Control and the letter F. You hit them at the same time.
Uh-huh.
And then it'll pop up a little box that you can type in a word. They'll help you find all of the times that word appears. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So that really helps me, but sometimes it doesn't work. Like it won't find all of them. It's kind of weird, but it really helps me find the answers for these in the book.
Yeah.
Dang, that is a total shortcut.
Yeah, you use it for like everything, like every class. So it's a good skill.
It saves you a lot of time skimming.
Yeah. I mean, especially even if you've already read it and you can't remember where, it just helps you find it faster.
Phew, thank you. I'm going crazy today now. That's bad though. At one point, and do you do like into parentheses? Exclamation mark. What do you call it? The two little ones to make it exactly that word.
Quotations.
Thank you. Quotations to make it the full word, like opportunity cost or something like that.
No.
Because that's usually what you do when you Google or you do anything else to get it.
You just put exactly what you want to find. So if you want to find quotation marks in the thing, you can put quotation marks in the thing.
Oh, wow.
So if you're looking for opportunity cost inside quotations, you'd put the quotations. But if you're just looking for the word opportunity cost, you just type opportunity cost, like exactly how you want to find it.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder about holding money. I'll do it later. Sorry. I gotta go through every page, plugging it in.
You're like so excited. I love it.
I'm sorry. When you have gaps in learning abilities or learning stuff, when you don't grow up with the English as your first like study, it makes a big difference because you guys got all those things, or
I
you
actually
do or
didn't learn
don't.
that until I think a friend showed me just a year or two ago. And I was just excited as you are. I was like, this is awesome. Which one are we on? 7?
Yes.
Okay. According to the liquidity preference theory, an increase in the price level shifts the demand curve to the right or to the left.
I put A on this one, and I found it in the book. It's on 21-1B. It says an increase in the price level from P1 to P2 shifts the money demand curve to the right. And then it says this increase in money demand causes the interest rate to rise.
Listen here, the man. Thank you.
Go upstairs.
All right.
I was wondering why I couldn't find that. I was on the wrong page.
Yeah, all the answers in this one were like so spread out in the book. I don't think it went in like any order at all.
Yeah.
You said it was A, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop. I'm sorry, you guys.
Okay.
Then according to liquidity preference theory, the money supply curve is
C, vertical, right?
that's what I got too.
Yes.
It's vertical. Yes, that one is actually on slide.
Should be on slide 13, I think.
Yeah, and also on 10 it says money supply curve is vertical. Straight up.
All right. Number 9. Which of the following events could explain a shift of the money demand curve from MD1 to MD2?
That is interest rates, the fall in price reducing money demand, which lowers interest rate.
Sorry, say that one more time.
I'm not saying the answer. I'm just saying the slide. Sorry, 11. Slide 11.
All right. Yeah, that's
So is that
the
A?
So A is what I put.
Yep. The fall in price, decrease in price, which reduces money demand, and then which lowers interest rate.
what's the cost of borrowing thing?
Where? What?
Just some of the answers.
I think like if you're trying to get a loan, like the interest rate on that.
Yeah. So, yeah, decrease in the cost of borrowing. So if you have if you have the cost of borrowing is the interest rate. So if your interest rate goes lower, you that decreases your cost of borrowing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you. All right. So number 10, I found in the slide 43 summary. It's in the middle of the second bullet point. It says an increase in the price level raises the money demand, which raises the interest rate, which reduces investment and then reduces the aggregate quantity of goods and services demanded. So I put C on that because those all have the opposite of what the slide just said. C says the price level decreases, the demand for money decreases, the interest rate decreases, and the quantity of goods and services demanded increases.
You're too fast for me.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Slide 43 is where I got it. I put.
Yeah, increase in the price level rises.
So I want to make sure that that was correct. You guys want to check me on that?
Yes. 1 second. Okay, so that would be that one. Yep, you're good.
You said you put D?
C.
No.
Yeah.
It's completely opposite. Yep.
Kyle, Keston, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
Sorry, are we still on number 10?
Yes.
Yeah, have you been sleeping or what?
No, my wife has to go to work and my son just woke up, so
Oh, okay. Sorry.
you have to
I
make
didn't
sure.
realize you were gone. No worries. Yeah, so we're on number 10. I used slide 43 and I got C as the answer. Me and Sandra did. Are you with this, Keston?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I think it's C based on what slide 43 says.
Okay. Keston, do you want more time on this one or should we move on?
No, it just took me a second to like put all of them together and do the opposite of what it said on the
I
slide.
started writing. Yeah, I started writing little arrows to not mess up. Like it says this.
No, we're good. I'm good. To
Okay, cool. 11, I got A.
That is
Says the price rises, the interest rate rises, and the aggregate demand shifts. Let's see if I can find a slide to support that.
Yeah, I think it's A as well because we know that the price rises or the interest rate rises with the price level. And the interest rate is what's on the vertical axis. I forgot what it's called. The vertical axis, so it would shift, it wouldn't just move along the curve. It would have to shift it.
So we were just looking at slide 11, right? Fall in P reduces the money demand, which lowers R. So yeah,
So do the opposite. Price
But
rise.
Not like all of the answers are the opposites.
Yeah,
is there a,
you have to like understand it perfectly well.
is
That's why
there
I
a
need
difference
the
in the
visual.
sorry.
What, Keston?
Is there a difference in the money demand curve and the aggregate demand curve?
Ooh, yeah, I think there is.
Because from what I understood is that on the aggregate demand curve, the price level just shifts on the line. It doesn't.
Oh, you're right. That's on the same slide on 11.
Holy moly.
So the wording there is tricky. That's a good point.
Okay, so
It doesn't shift it. It just moves along. So it would actually be B.
Yeah.
Keston, you saved us again.
So 11
You
is
like, huh?
11 is B then?
Yeah. Keston,
Okay.
it seems like you're not listening or something because you're like quiet for a while, and then all of a sudden when we need you most, you just like chime in and
come
give us
through.
a golden answer.
It's because I really try and spend my time like figuring out every answer, especially when you guys have a different answer than I do, just so that I
Yeah.
know it's right.
That's good.
Is that your little boy moving it constantly?
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 9 months.
Nice. So is mine. Wait, mine's June 12th.
He's June 22nd.
Oh, wow. Yay, you know how I feel. I'm just joking. Not yay.
I know. You're talking about trying to put him to sleep before class. I understand.
I literally scheduled my meetings when he naps when he's supposed to nap.
Yeah.
That is not always the case.
I know. We've been trying to do sleep training for him, and he just sleeps whenever he wants.
Yeah, you should read some books. And I cried at the door trying to sleep train because you feel so horrible. But if you don't follow through and keep on doing it, then the first times I cry because it's such a long time. And if you go in, you make it worse and they'll do it longer. Yeah, I learned that the hard way. But yes, I was crying at their door, just feeling like a horrible mom. But it worked really nice for the first one. And after that, every other one has been great. In that.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle's got to go soon. Should we do number 12?
Yeah.
This is where it starts getting tricky.
But that's just using the formula. Why does it get tricky? Why do you feel?
Well, maybe for me. So, yeah, let's walk through it together.
Yes, please. I always say that. You know, I always say that.
Okay, so from what I understand, we have to figure out how much consumption increased, right? Which is the MPC or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just plug it in the formula.
Yep.
Okay, so.
Oops. I'm writing A's instead of triangles. Sorry, I was writing the formula out on my paper just because. Okay, so it says the marginal increase. Okay, we have the income.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what's confusing to me is that the formula includes the change in G, right?
Yes.
Which is government spending, but we just have the income and the consumption spending.
Then there was no change, and you don't have to do it.
All the answers like have a number, you know. Did anyone get this far?
No.
I'm just trying to figure out how I got my answer, but
So I was not 100% sure on the formula and everything. I went with A because I didn't think it was C. But C and A have the same numbers, so I figured since they're close, it's probably one of those two.
No, so don't do that. All right, so if first we got to switch the formula because we want to find MC, or wait, actually MC, let's see, does it have it already? Breakdown. Gonna make us do it. Okay, so if you have, you want to, let's see. That one's multiplying. I'm sorry, you guys, give me a second. Changing y multiplied by 1 plus m. C.
I really thought it was just the consumer spending divided by the income.
I have to do the formula. I'm so sorry if it takes me forever.
You think you could explain that, Keston?
Yes, please.
I'm looking at page 21-2C in the book, and it's kind of like going over it. Just in the very first paragraph.
You said 2 dash what?
2C.
Formula of the spending multiplier.
Yep.
Jason, explain what you understand of that paragraph, that 21.2-C, so I can, because I did it, but I'm.
So it just says that the MPC is the fraction of extra income that a household consumes rather than saves. So going off of the Boeing example, they have 20 billion in income, and it says they spend 3/4 of that. So their consumer spending would be 15 billion. So if you just divided that, 15 billion divided by 20 billion, it gives you that 3/4 MPC, 0.75 MPC.
You're saying that, okay, let me just do one more thing really fast. So you're saying that it's C, is that right? Or is it, sorry,
Yeah.
I haven't finished. Yep, yes, no, wait.
Yeah, C is what I put.
But don't 7,200, I don't know if I did it wrong, say 7,250 divided by 11,000. It gave me 0.659.
Yes. Mine was a little different too, but if you just round up, it would be 0.66. I don't know how they got the 4.
And see, that's what makes me think that they're trying to trick us.
Yeah.
They give us both.
I think it's B
Why do you think it's B?
because the difference between 6 6,500 and 7,250 is 750. And the difference between 10,000 and 11,000 is 1,000. And so 750 of 1,000 is 0.75. 0.750.
I'm so sorry, Kyle. Can you do that again?
Yeah, so if you take the difference between consumption spending and income for the 2 years,
Okay.
you get 1,000 for this income and 750 for the spending. And if you do the equation on that, it would equal 0.75. 0.750.
That makes a bit more sense. Does that make sense to you guys?
That makes sense. But is there like a certain spot that you learned how to do that?
I googled how do you calculate marginal propensity to consume, and it says MPC is equal to consumption or C over Y, where C is change in consumption and Y is change in income.
Say that again. MPC is equal to change in what?
Change in consumption divided by change in income.
That would make way more sense.
I don't know why they couldn't put that formula in the book or in the PowerPoint.
I know, and help us. Psh.
So
Yeah.
that's not from the book; it's from Google. So hopefully,
You
it's
said 750 divided by 1,000.
right.
Okay.
And that would make sense for them to give us two quantities and all that.
Well, are we sure that that's accurate though?
Did you find more than one option when you Googled it? Did they? Oh, what was the site that? Let's see.
It's Investopedia.com. Whenever I Google this, is the first one that right there.
Oh, that's good.
Did the other one support it? Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Go along more than one.
That makes sense. I'm just having a hard time with all the letters and the formulas, figure out
Yeah.
exactly what it's asking for.
Yeah.
Formulas don't bother me. It's the stinking wording that bothers me. Well, I'm sure it bothers me at one point or another, but.
So the income would be change in Y, right?
Right.
Yes.
I just still can't figure it out with the formula that's given us. Any of them.
Because Y is GDP, but it's also how much we have to tell yourself. Y is kind of like is equal to income.
Yeah, so where does the G come in then? Government spending.
Where does what?
Where does G come in?
Come in where?
Well, the formula has G. Which
Well,
is
yeah, that
government
depends
spending,
on.
right?
Yeah, that depends on when the government, because they're going to use that when they change the tax rate or they spend more money to put in there. They'll like build a road and add money to the pool. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so in this case, G would be 0.
Yeah. And yes, I did do marginal propensity, and there's several that have the exact same thing. So that makes me inclined to think that we're on the right track. Okay.
Sure, let's roll with it. 13.
Okay, the crowding out effect. I did not get to the crowding out effect. Did somebody understand that one?
It's pretty simple. Let me find it.
I have it on slide 26, but
Okay.
I just didn't get to it. Or I should say, I'll just be quiet and not say any answer, but that's not fair.
Wait, for 13 though?
Uh-huh. Oh, no. I was looking at 14, sorry.
Okay. Let's do 13. So we already talked about GDP falls. The demand will fall with it, right?
That's just income. So go back, let's see, slide, real income, Y rises. So you do the opposite. It's on slide 6. Is that right?
Oh yeah. Oh, nice. Yep. So it would
Decrease.
slide 6. The GDP fall would decrease or would cause the money demand to fall, right?
Yes.
And when the money demand falls, what happens to interest? They fall too, right?
1 second. Go. I think money demand is on slide 5.
Mm-hmm.
Household demand.
I'm so confused with money demand and aggregate demand.
I do not see this going well at all, but okay.
Well, we see in slide 11 that when the money demand falls, that the interest rate also falls. The graph.
That is true. You mean on slide 11? Yeah, you said a slide 11. Is that right?
So I would go with D for 13.
What's what I got?
Yeah, that's what I got too.
Okay.
14.
Yay.
MPC is 0.8, and there are no crowding out or accelerator effects. Then an initial increase in aggregate demand of $120 billion will eventually shift the aggregate demand curve to the right by how much?
I think that has.
So-
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No. I think I'm wrong. I'm just. It said it had no crowding out effects.
Yeah. So I thought it would be 120, but that's not optimal. I thought the answer would be 120, but
not with. You have to look at slide 20.
Yeah, I
Go
know.
to slide 24. Huh? What?
you do 120 divided by 0.8, right? Because that would give you 150 billion.
No, but first you have to do the multiplier, don't you?
No, because it tells you. Oh yeah, the multiplier is.
Which you have to get. MC is 0.8, so you have to go like the example is on slide 24. So you have one, let's see.
So the multiplier.
Well, it's 1 minus 0.8.
Oh, that's what the equation.
Do you see that? And it's 1 over 0.2. Let's see if I got it right. 1 over, Eric, quiet.
Okay. I got 5.
Yes, I got 5.
So you do 5 times 120, which is 600.
Uh-huh. That's what I think it is.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I was
Wait.
looking at that multiplier equation, thinking that it was trying to give us the answer to the other one that we did.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go in and
So how did you get 5?
okay, so you go 1 over 1 minus whatever MCC is, which is 0.8, and it will give you 5. So because it's
1 over 0.2.
yeah, exactly, 1 over 0.2,
Okay.
which gives you 5.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's just that they make you feel like you have to have GDP, and they make you feel like you have to have. Does that make sense? Like, oh. I am so sorry. I have to go get my kid now. He's woken up. So
That's okay.
1 second. Do you think if they talk together, they will get happy? Okay, so we're going with C on 14. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Us walking through these, I feel everybody benefits, even if the person like me that didn't do it at the moment, you know what I mean? Like we go through it and it helps. And the person that already did it kind of gets it more solidified. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The following facts apply to a small imaginary economy. Again, we're going to use the MPC, which is equal consumption over the change in income. Change in consumption, change in income. Is that right?
Yes.
You can't be doing that. You can't be making. You want to, don't do that. You're in your shirt. You want to eat some. You have a granola bar. You can have an apple, or you can have a banana, or even an orange.
Okay, so this one's asking which one of these could increase the aggregate demand by 1,500.
And then the other one, it was.
So we have to find out what the MPC is and use the money multiplier with all the answers to see which one would increase it by 1,500. So let's find the MPC first.
Okay, the change and 280, 320. Is it 320? Is that right? Sorry, I'm just doing it in my brain.
Yeah, the change for the spending. Consumption spending.
Then 500.
So did you guys get MPC of 0.64?
Yes. And now let's put that into, that would be 1 over 1 minus,
So for that multiplier, I got 2.7.
let me just finish it. I don't have a scientific calculator, so I'm just doing piece by piece. You got 2.777, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, 2.8, and then we're gonna use that to, you said what, Kyle? You're gonna use that to get go in and use each one of them to try to see if it.
Well, what I did, I just took 1,500 and divided it by the multiplier. It gave me 540, so I'm a little confused.
How did you know to use that?
Well, don't you just multiply the spending by the multiplier? And that gives you the 1,500, which is the aggregate demand shift.
I don't know, to be honest, I don't know enough.
And someone help me out here, guys.
Sorry, Kyle. I am not. Fine. I feel like I did really good at the starting of this class, and then I went.
Hey, Kyle Dopp.
Yeah.
Do you need to go?
So my wife has to work at 11, so that's why I had to go because I have to watch this guy.
Oh, okay.
So.
Do you mind him playing right there? Because I don't care.
Yeah, so I can go as long as I don't have to. I can't continue to listen. I'm just not as helpful because I have to.
Okay, that's okay. That's fine.
Sorry.
So if you do the math with the MPC multiplier, like the 550 comes out to 1529 is your answer. So that would be your $1,500 increase. But I don't understand if it would be from consumer spending or from net exports.
Well, I thought I remember it saying that net exports.
They were non-changing.
Yeah.
On slide 23. It says it gives you that formula, and it says when they're not changing, investments or net exports.
Okay.
I don't really know why, but the slide said.
What did you say?
I said I don't understand why. I just know that the slide says it.
Oh, that's.
What is the crowding out effect?
I'm sorry. The crowding out effect is it says crowding out effect. Physical policies have another effect on the ADM. Aggregate demand that works in the opposite direction. If physical expansion rises interest rates, which reduces investment, which reduces the net income in aggregate demand. So the size of the aggregate demand shift may be similar to that initial physical expansion. This is called the crowding out effect. How the crowding out effect works, it actually talked about it. So if a company spends if government, okay, there you go. I remember the example. If government spends $20 billion to construct roads, that will increase aggregate demand. But then the people that paid the 20 grand is now so it's the company that makes the roads is now paying all of its wages and services of 20 billion. So that multiplies it out. Does that make sense to them? And then they spend it. Does that make sense, Kyle? Look at slide 27, Kyle, to help you visualize it.
It's confusing.
Slide 27 has it where it says 20 billion and then it goes out one and it goes out another because as one person receives it, the other person spends it, the other person spends it. I don't know. Does that make any sense at all?
A little bit.
I remember hearing that. I do remember that part of the book where it talks about how the person that's making the road now, the company that's making the road has the money, and then it pays it in wages, and that person in wages turns around just like you get your income and you go spend it again, so it multiplies it out.
So it'll increase initially by 20 billion, then it will decrease by like 10 billion.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know about the amount. Sorry, I don't know about the amount. Hey, don't do that.
Does higher income, does that affect the interest rate?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Higher income what?
Will that affect the interest rate?
The increase of income or higher income?
Increase.
Give me a second. Let me visualize that for a second. Say it again, Kyle. Say it again. And so
If the income increases, will that affect the interest rate?
Yes, it will rise.
Okay. Doesn't that have something to do with the crowding out effect?
I'm sorry. You can't do that. I can't think.
Oh yeah, it's on slide 27. So you have Y increase, which is the
Yes.
income,
Mhm.
and it causes the money demand to increase or to shift. It also causes the interest rate to increase. And the aggregate, it reduces. Holy hell. There's just so much to remember, you know?
Yes. So the money demanded increases, but the aggregate demand decreases.
Yeah.
Ah, sorry. See why I use colorful little things where the arrows with bright red?
Okay, guys, we're almost done. So we all put B for 15, right?
Yes.
Okay. If you guys want, I'll be the sacrifice. I will submit our answers when we're done to see if they're right.
Okay. Or I will do it because I probably should do that because I wasn't prepared.
I don't think none of us were really prepared.
No, I did not finish all the questions. That is not.
Me neither.
So no. Okay.
Okay, 16. Suppose the multiplier has a value that exceeds 1, and there are no crowding out or investment accelerator effects. Which of the following would shift aggregate demand to the right by more than an increase in expenditures?
Holy cow.
So in what situations would you have a multiplier that's more than 1? I didn't see that in the slide.
But we already had a multiplier of 5 on question
Oh,
number.
okay. No, yeah, I was confusing it with the MPC. Okay. So it's higher than 1.
No. Yeah. It was the MPC, but the multiplier. Let's see. A bigger MPC means changes in Y causes a bigger change in consumption, which returns causes a bigger change in Y. I'm on slide 24 for the multiplier.
Okay. So we just need to figure out what would shift the aggregate demand to the right by more than an increase in expenditures.
Okay, so the times that it shows aggregate demand shifting to the right is, okay, so let's go to the multiplier effect on 21. Multiplier, because it shifts it to the right. Do you see that on 21, slide 21?
Yes.
Marginal propensity to consume, the fraction income holds consume rather than. Hey, what? Don't. Oh, you're playing with that? Then you're good. I'm going to let you down. There you go. Hey. Love you. And it says it doesn't want, I'm sorry, let me go back. More than an expenditures is just consumption, is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
More than
So
that?
it would not be A because that would increase expenditures the same amount that it would shift the aggregate demand, right? So it would not be A.
And it's not net exports because it says that they're non-changing, remember?
Yeah, so would it be C?
No, because investments is also non-changing.
Investment is? Oh.
On slide 23, it says I and NX do not change. When I use the multiple.
So okay. Would it be B then?
What?
I don't know.
You didn't even read that because I just
yeah.
said
Because B would increase Y.
no, but B is when it comes to the multiplier.
Yeah, that's just the multiplier effect, right? Which in this problem, we're assuming that there is no multiplier effect, right?
Can I pull my hair?
Keston,
Kyle.
we need you.
I'm searching the book like crazy, trying to find something that can help me, but it's not coming to me.
We're just looking at the slide.
Can you search the book for increase in expenditures?
Well, I did find it says a small initial change in consumption, investment, government purchases, or net exports can end up having a large effect on aggregate demand.
Yeah, so what this problem is asking, or it's saying that there are no crowding out or investment accelerator effects, right? So it's just the aggregate demand will just move the demand to the right. Oh, sorry. So what it's asking for is one of these is going to move the demand to the right? They all move the demand to the right.
Yes.
But it has to not affect the expenditures as much, right? So we know that the government expenditures is obviously going to affect expenditures. And the investment spending is also spending, right? It's also going to affect expenditures. But what about net exports? That's just going to increase the Y, the income, not necessarily expenditures, right? From what I understand.
That sounds good, but at the same time, are you sure it's not just all?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's B.
Where did you read the expenditure part? The imports. You read something as I was walking away, didn't you?
I don't know. Let me look back at it again. Is everyone confused?
Really?
I think what you're saying sounds right because, I mean, government expenditures and investment spending, I think those shift the demand to the right as well, but I think it's just going to be the exact same. The only one that would be different would be net exports.
Yeah, because it will change. It will change Y when it comes to Y equals C my plus I plus G plus net exports. That's the one that will change income. Is that right?
Well, the way I'm thinking is exports, the government doesn't, there's no expenditures for the government in that one because it's going to a different country.
Okay.
So that only increases your money.
Your GDP?
Yeah, but your government doesn't have anything to do with it. I don't know. That's kind of what makes sense in my head, but.
Okay.
Should we go with it?
Yes. We're gonna die.
Yeah, I understand why you say B. I think it could also be D, but I understand why we're going with B.
Which one, Kyle? D, you said?
I think it could be all of them. I know all of them do it, but like
That's
I said,
fine.
expenditures. If it's increasing by more than expenditures, maybe the other two wouldn't have the same effect.
Yeah.
So
So what exactly is expenditures? That's the question.
Yeah.
Do we know? That comes from a previous chapter.
Let's Google it. Oh, you don't touch the plug. Don't touch the plug. Kid.
Should we go to 17 or what do you guys want to do?
I'm sorry, I was trying to Google it.
Okay, cool. In the meantime, I'm going to take a gander at 17.
Okay. And why did you say net expenditures? It's net exports. Kyle?
Kyle?
Huh?
Me, Kyle, or the other Kyle?
Yeah, you, Kyle. Kyle P, not D. You said expenditures, and it's not. It's net exports.
Oh, just because the answer is, or the question is asking for expenditures.
So you said net expenditures, though. I'm sorry.
I don't know why I did. Sorry, I must have got it confused.
I'm good with B. Let's go on to 17. I'm done with that. Hey.
I wish we could meet with other groups. I guess we could probably post stuff on the conversation board, right?
Yes, we can. We totally can. That's what we should be doing every time we struggle with it.
We'd have to print this whole lesson though. Every single question.
We can put that. Who else is struggling with the quiz?
Yeah.
And understanding. Hey, what did I tell you?
No, that's the last week. Oh,
And that doesn't matter. What? So you shouldn't get help because it's the last week?
no, I mean no one ever uses the conversation board, so we probably won't check it.
That's
I don't even check them anymore. I don't know about you guys.
I check it because it's part of the if I check it, then I feel like I did it, but I never answer the teacher's question, which is bad.
I know no one does. It's so funny because it's not required. He puts one on there every week.
That's where we're not living up to our potential.
Yeah, probably not. Should we go on to 17?
Yep.
Suppose there was a large increase in net exports. The Fed wanted to stabilize output, then it would.
Okay. So net exports affects Y. That's what it affects. And Y is income. Yes?
Yeah, so if there's an increase in income.
No.
Oh, sorry, what?
Increase in net exports, not imports. There's taking it out. And you always wait.
Yes. So when we send things out, we get money from other countries, and it increases Y, right?
Yeah. Yes, you're right. So Y or income will increase.
Okay, so when Y increases, that means interest rates also increase, right?
Income, that was on slide. Yes, honey. Real income rises, then increase in money demanded. An increase, which is right here. An increase in money the increase in money demanded. No, I'm sorry. An increase in money demanded.
We just talked about this, didn't we? I can't remember what.
Yes, on slide 15. I'm sorry, slide 5 and 6 talks. Your wait, 1 second. 5 is sorry. On slide 6 is the money demanded, and which is the real increase in Y as it rises. 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be quiet a little bit. Do you need to turn on the car too, please?
So to stabilize that, as Y increases, you want to decrease the money supply, which in turn reduces interest rates.
Yeah. Where are you reading that?
I'm not. I'm just doing it in my
Oh.
head.
Okay,
So,
sweet. So that's what happens, right?
Yeah, to stabilize it.
It'll
Can you
increase.
say it again,
Yeah, say it again.
Kristen?
So in our problem, we have a large increase in net exports, which increases the money supply, right?
Yes, I think so.
Which also would increase the interest rates.
Cool. So
So
what we
to
want to do
stabilize that, you want to do the
decrease both.
opposite. Yeah, you would
So
want to
B?
decrease both.
as in boy, right?
That's what makes sense in my head. But
Let's go with that. I thought we just barely found a slide that talks about what happens
13.
to R and all that, but I think
13.
you're right.
I think
13?
it's like 13 is the effects of reducing money supply.
Oh, okay, cool.
Are you giving it
This
cookies?
is R. Oh, so R actually has the
It would
opposite
go
effect
up.
then with the money supply.
So that would actually make that not the right answer, is it right?
Yeah.
It would be D, wouldn't it? Wait, I'm confused. 1 second. I understand the slide, and I can by this to get this slide response. It would be D, a decrease in money supply, which will increase interest rates. But I have to go back to what it says. So suppose a large income. Okay, the Fed wanted to stabilize output would. So we went. I'm sorry. The increase. See, this is where it gets scary because you have to use one slide to do. I mean, so the increase in income increases the money demanded.
So I got D.
that's what
B
I
as
had at first, but I don't.
So we just looked at a slide that says if the money supply increases, interest rates decrease, right?
Where did you get that?
Slide 13.
13 says if money supply decreases.
Yeah, then
And
the interest rates will increase, right?
yes.
Which also means the opposite. If the money supply increases, then interest rates will decrease, right?
Yes.
Which is what I thought. So I thought we decided that that's what's happening in this problem. Is that with the net export increase, we're having an increase in the money supply and decrease in the interest rate. And so we're wanting to stabilize that. So we're wanting the money supply to go back down and the interest rate to go back up, right? Which would be D.
D as in dog, is that right?
Yeah. If that logic is correct.
I thought you said B. I was like, wait, what do you?
Oh yeah, I said dog. Sorry.
No, okay. So let's go over that again so I can write it in my little writings. You said, okay, so the increasing, a large amount of income will have us rise in what? Money demanded, is that right?
Money supply, right?
Well, no, but the rise in income will have the, what?
This problem's not asking for the money demand, it's just asking for the money supply.
I know, but where did you, okay, an increase in R. But okay, you said it earlier. First, tell me the effect of an increase in net exports. What was that?
So we didn't find that in the slides, we just thought that would increase the money supply.
Because you would get more money.
We're getting money from outside the U.S.
Oh, thank you. So an increase. And the increase in money supply will lower interest rate. Is that right?
Yes.
So the way I thought of this on this problem, and I could be wrong based on what everyone's talking about. I thought because exports are increasing so much, if we increase the money supply, we'd be able to decrease the exports.
That went right over my head.
Yes, it did. Say it again, Kyle. Kyle Dobbs, say it again.
So they said there's a large increase in net exports.
Mm-hmm.
So if you increase the money supply, wouldn't you decrease the exports because more products are being sold domestically, and so there's less to be exported?
No, Kyle.
I
You're
thought-
not getting nowhere.
Well, so when you're increasing exports, that means that we're selling more to other countries, right?
Yes.
Right.
So that we're
But if-
getting money.
Right. But if you increase the money in the economy, then there would be less goods to export.
How
What?
does that work?
If the demand increases, right? So money supply increases, demand increases. If demand increases, then that decreases the amount of surplus that can be exported, right? Or is that the wrong way of thinking about it?
I have no idea, dude. You lost me. I'm sorry. Have you been listening to us the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
What do you think, Keston?
Yeah, I think I kind of understand what he's saying.
And I don't know if it's right or not, the right way to think about it or not.
So Kyle, what answer do you think it is then?
I thought it'd be A. Because increasing the money supply would decrease the interest rate. But I thought you'd want to increase the money supply to decrease the surplus that you have. So to decrease the net exports. Because your demand would go up, your consumption would go up, so your exports would go down.
How would our exports go down though? Because exports are just exports. Like we're still gonna want to export no matter what we make or not produce, but consumer or make or whatever ain't gonna change how much we're gonna export. If there's a demand somewhere else other than here, we're gonna do it. No? Am I wrong?
So this is the way I think about it, but I could be wrong. So I could be wrong.
I love when you explain it. I promise I'm not trying to be mean. I just want to understand it.
But let's say we have a factory that can create 100 basketballs, right? And here in the country, here domestically, people only use 20 basketballs. So we export 80 basketballs. Well, we all of a sudden get a lot more money. So now instead of consuming 20 basketballs, we buy 80 basketballs. So because our factory can only produce 100, we can only export 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I thought exports depended on the world price.
That's true.
Yeah, that's probably right. Because I do remember that as well. There's other factors with exports.
I don't know. If you think that's right, Kyle, you should put it.
Yeah, we'll see what we get. Maybe I'll think about it.
Okay.
I'm always nervous to deviate from what we decide as a group because I feel like
Yeah. Well,
you guys are smarter than me.
I think you're fine if you do, because I don't think we're set in stone on this one. So I'm still confused about it, but I say we go on to 18.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Which of the following is correct? Oh boy. Okay, A, unemployment rises as the economy moves from point A to point B. So from point A to point B, that means that the demand is going down, which means the real income is going down, right?
Yeah.
Would that raise unemployment
If
or
the
lower
demand
it?
would.
Is this one in the book?
Sorry about that.
Would that be a recession, or is that caused by the supply?
It is on number 18 then?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're looking at letter A, trying to figure out whether that would be correct or not.
The aggregate demand decreases. Okay, so we have to find a spot where aggregate demand decreases. There you go. Use your hand. There we go. Okay, so one of the times aggregate demand decreases is on slide 13. I just have to see it. Sorry, I don't know if that makes sense at all, but it is decreasing on that slide, so. Unemployment rises, so you're whining again. Either you choose to be not, or you choose to go in your room. Understood? If you're hungry, you get something. I'll give you many options.
I'm not seeing anything about unemployment. I think that was last chapter, right?
Mm-hmm. But I do see physical policies and monetary policies affecting aggregate demand.
Wouldn't those increase the price though and move it from B to A? Oh wait, yeah, that's what it says.
That's what it says.
Man, I don't know. We're almost at 2 hours. should we say D? I mean B?
Hey. We have only a few more. Let's understand this.
I have a test to take in my other class, so that's why I'm like.
Okay. So sorry. Okay.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Kyle, Dob, Keston, do you guys remember anything about unemployment?
Well, if you think about it, if the aggregate demand shifts, wouldn't that mean that there's less products that people want, so people don't produce as much, so unemployment would rise?
Yes.
Yeah, less productivity, right?
Yeah.
So would it be A?
But I think B is correct also, because that's true. You can use monetary policy or fiscal policy to shift aggregate demand.
Now let's see C then. If the economy is left alone, then as the economy moves from point B to long run equilibrium, the price level will fall further.
That's That's the only one I don't understand. But if A and B are both correct, then it would have to be B.
Let me go grab my notes from last week.
Okay. Yeah, because last chapter, that's the part that I didn't understand is how you can use the monetary policy or whatever to increase the price and bring it back into equilibrium.
The LRA was right there. So long run, overall long run progress of the shifts of LRA to the right. No. There shows the total equilibrium firm produced and sells at a given price.
Excuse me.
Would that make it go back to the natural rate of output? Wait, 1 second.
I thought it would automatically shift to A.
I think it'll shift because you move from AD1 to AD2, and then I believe it will fall down the AD2 line until it meets the long run aggregate supply. So it'll stay on the AD2 line, and it will gradually migrate down to the long run.
Oh,
That-
so the price
that
will
makes
fall.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good call. So should we go with D as in dog?
he is a dog.
Cool. Thank you, Kyle Dopp.
Yeah.
Those ones confused me so bad. Even after the homework, I still didn't get them.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, 19. Which of the following policies would be advocated by proponents of stabilization policy when the economy is experiencing severe unemployment? No. That wasn't even English, man.
Okay, so if unemployment it will increase when the demand goes down, then we need more demand in order for companies to want to get more employees. So we need more demand and more production. Okay, so
And increasing government purchases?
yes,
That's what I put.
yes.
All right, cool.
Yay! Opponents of active stabilization policies.
I'd have no clue on this one.
I remember reading something like this.
I put C on this one in the book. It's on 21-3B. Says the primary argument against active monetary and fiscal policy is that these policies affect the economy with a long lag.
But not in the short run, huh?
Yeah. The opponents of it think that the short run stuff should be able to fix itself on its own and that the government shouldn't mess with it.
All right.
So the only one that was prepared here is Kitston. Kyle Dobbs, were you prepared? I wasn't. And Kyle, he
I
already.
was the first 14.
I was partially prepared.
Well, no, I was partially, but I can't even. I'm horrible. I'm so sorry.
My answers look like I wasn't prepared though, because I changed about 10 of them.
That's okay. Okay.
Somewhere I have every single answer written at least once and crossed out.
Let's go over the answers we have. We have
Okay.
1 C as in Charles, 2 D as in David, 3 B as in boy, 4 A as in apple, 5 A as in apple, 6 A as in apple, 7 A as in apple, 8 C as in Charles, 9 A as in apple, 10 C as in Charles, 11 B as in boy, 12, B as in boy. 13. What? I don't have number 13.
I
We
have
decide
D as in dog.
D as in dog. I have the slide number and everything. I just didn't write it out. Sorry. Okay. 14, C as in Charles. 15, B as in boy. 16, B as in boy. 17, D as in dog. 18, C as in dog. 19, C as in Charles. 20, C as in Charles.
Cool. Do you guys want me to submit it?
If you will, I will. I'll take it, but I
All right,
will.
cool.
No,
I'm putting in the answers right now.
we don't even know what one we would go back to, though.
I know that's a problem. We're so unsure on like a lot of them.
We wouldn't even know where to begin.
Hey, thanks for all you guys' hard work today. It was a long meeting, but
I
the
don't.
last one.
Is it our last one?
Yeah, because next week I think we're just
You just have the test.
yeah, and so I think we're planning on just meeting next Tuesday at the same time to study
Okay.
for the test.
Oh, that would be great.
Then we don't have to change any of our schedules, you know.
Yeah, because it's already a part of what we planned on.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm almost done. Give me another second.
No worries. Kyle Dobbs, is this your first son or your first kid? Or one kid only?
Yeah, only one, and he gives us enough trouble.
Oh no, the first is not. The first is the hardest. The first is, I mean, they could be easy kids, but it's the hardest because you realize your life is not yours anymore. You realize you can never leave the house when you think you can or are going to. And everything can change within seconds. I had plans of studying last week, several days. I had plans of studying the whole day yesterday. But yeah.
Yeah, no, they change your schedule for sure.
Oh, I can't. I no longer can study at night. Even during the day, I sometimes debate if I should study at the gym just to have the noise and know that I can't fall asleep where I'm at.
Yeah.
Guys, I just submitted the quiz. I got a D-.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just kidding. I got 18 out of 20.
Really?
That's not bad.
I scared you, Sandra.
Oh,
I'll take
I was
18.
like-
I think that's pretty good.
I think that's really good because we had no clue.
Well, I think it helps that we all went through each problem
I think.
and talked
Well,
about it.
exactly. Like I think it helped. It helped me understand it better. I appreciate it. So I don't know how we want to go about next week's quiz. I mean, next week's testing. Are we going to go by what he wants us to learn and just go over that topic over and over and over about the different situations? I just wish you'll put out that what is it called, the study guide.
Yeah, hopefully we get one of those.
Should we make a comment and be like, hey, can we have a study guide ahead of time or something like that?
Yeah, let's ask him for it. Do we always have a study guide for the test?
I think the exams he has.
Okay.
He did it for sure for one of them, for sure. So if he did that, then we can go through each point and just go crazy at it, explaining it, and every person explain it in their own terms so they can get it. But yeah, Kyle, you can probably not take it off live if you want, Kyle, now.
All right, well, I'm gonna go. But thank you so much for you guys' help.
No, thank you. I would not have done. I would probably got less than a D.
None of us would have done good without each other, so it was a good meeting.
Thank you very, very much. And yeah, we'll meet next.
What's that?
We'll meet next week. Sounds good.
All right, cool. See you guys.
Sounds good. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.